good morning. Welcome to today's webinar on how to build a lucrative coaching business. Before we get started, I'm sure everyone's familiar with Zoom webinars at this point, but just to reiterate, cameras will remain off and microphones muted, so you can just sit back and relax and enjoy today's content. We will be utilizing the chat throughout today's session. So if you need to get in touch with me or other members of our team who will be joining us as well, please use the chat feature. Again, it's just on the bottom part of your screen that says chat. If you have any technical issues or aha moments that you would like to share, that is the perfect place to put it. John will be taking questions live at the end of our session today. So if you would like a question or to pose a question for him to answer, you can use the Q&A button on the bottom kind of right of your screen. If you do see a question that you would have liked to have answered that someone has already posted, you can use the upvote button to make sure that we definitely get to that before today's session is over. Just a reminder also that the session today is being recorded, so we will be sending out a link to everyone after today's session has concluded. John's presentation is roughly about 30 minutes, and then we'll do about 15 minutes or so of Q&A at the end. So just so you know what time frame we'll have you for this morning. And without further ado, this is the DiJulius Group and our CX Coaching Chief Revolution Officer, John DiJulius.
Thank you, Lindsay. Hello, everyone. Overall customer satisfaction is at 73.6%, its lowest point in over 15 years. And since the start of the pandemic, satisfaction has been dropping like a rock. What is behind all the deteriorating customer service? Several things, such as employee burnout, low employee morale, high employee turnover, staff shortage, poor reactive hiring, no training of new employee, supply chain issues, and not managing customers' expectations, which results in angry customers. The companies that will dominate their industry for the next decade will be the ones who are obsessed with evolving the customer experience they provide to both employee and customers. So, the DiJulius Group is the world's leading authority on customer and employee experience. I've written 5 books, and we have created a methodology that some of the best brands in the world have followed. Our other co-brands are the Customer Service Revolution Conference, the Customer Experience Executive Academy, which is for people who are working in a corporate world who may be becoming their company's next chief experience officer. And then our most recent brand that I'm most excited about, which is what's today, is the CX Coaching brand. So what's the difference between the three? Well, the DiJulius Group consults with major companies, usually 100 million and above. The Customer Experience Executive Academy, as I said, is for people who are working in a corporate world that want to be the chief customer officer, chief experience officer. Now, CX Coaching, the Customer Experience Coaching, is for people that want to own their own business and coach smaller businesses, typically 50 million and below, on this methodology, which is not what the DiJulius Group serves. It's a whole market that is going unserved. So if for some reason you are more fitted for the Customer Experience Executive Academy, we will get you on that. And this might not be something you want to stick around, but hopefully you're on the right webinar, Customer CX Coaching. All right. So CX Coaching, the mission is the leading customer experience coaching authority, transforming businesses worldwide. Our purpose is to change the world by creating a customer service revolution. And what is a customer service revolution? It is a radical overthrow of conventional business mentality designed to transform what employees and customers experience. This shift produces a culture that permeates into people's personal lives, at home, and in the community, which in turn provides the business with higher sales, morale, and brand loyalty, thus making price irrelevant. That's my favorite. So what does making price irrelevant look like? based on the experience your brand consistently delivers, your customers have no idea what your competition charges. So that's really what CX coaches do for their clients. They help their businesses become the brand customers can't live without and make price irrelevant. So how do you know if CX coaching is right for you to become a CX coach? Well, I like to use this ikigai. All right. It's a Japanese word for reason for being. Ikigai. And it's when four things line up. You find something you love, you're passionate about, that you could be great at, that you can make a great living, that adds a positive impact to the world. And Mark Twain said it best: the two most important days in your life are the day you're born and the day you find out why. So we got to find out if this is your ikigai, CX coaching. So our mission, the DiJulius Group's mission, which is also, we also call CX Coaching Global, that's the parent company, DiJulius Group. Our mission for our coaches, we want you to make more money than you ever thought possible. However, we want you to feel that the money was the least valuable thing that you received from being part of CX coaching. So successful coaching criteria, you have to have an entrepreneur mindset. You have to have a passion for customer and employee experience, and you have to have an obsession with helping others succeed through training and facilitation. If any of these three aren't there, you will not be a successful coach. I don't care what your topic is, okay? The toughest one probably is an entrepreneur mindset. And we help you through there, but you know if that's in your DNA. A passion for the topic, in this case, the customer employee experience. And the third one is the obsession with helping others succeed through training and facilitation. So what is a customer experience coach? They educate on the proven CX coaching methodology and CX coaching global tools. They guide leadership teams in the creation of customized systems through facilitated workshops. They coach teams on the implementation and execution of systems, and they transform the culture of companies. So what makes a customer experience coach thrive, right? The CX coaching method, the successful entrepreneurial model that we help with, the CX coaching global resources, and the CX coaching community. So we have developed this methodology that DiJulius Group has done, that has been using for 20 years. So this is the 10 sessions that you do with your clients over the course of 2 years. And this is how we break it down year one and year two. So a typical customer experience coach will work with a client, their clients, a business, once a quarter for 2 years. The fourth quarter is usually 2 back-to-back sessions. And this is the recommendation, but a lot of times, I would say 50% of the time, you may go out of order based on what the client needs. The client may need something right now, like zero risk. Zero risk is all about service recovery, putting out fires, reducing customer complaints and fixing them when they do happen. So that might be something that they need right now. So you'll prioritize that and shift that to year one potentially. But we work in every industry. This is proven. These are companies we've worked with. Your target client as a CX coach will be 5 million to 50. It doesn't mean you don't go outside of that, but that's your target market. But we've worked with medical, dental, manufacturing, mortgage, restaurants, daycare. You see it. There's just every possible industry we've worked at. We're working in policing right now. So that has opened up a big, brand new industry to us. So we go by the 8421 sales model. You got to get 8 leads to get 4 calls with the decision maker, which will typically lead you to 2 introduction customer experience coaching. This is complementary. All right. How you close a client is you get in to their leadership team and you do a 90-minute interactive CX introduction to CX coaching to them. It's so much value. And after you do that, they want to work with you, which starts Q1, which is the first session, which is the immersion session. And then that's what it looks like. All right. That's, you have Q1, Q2, Q3, and then the fourth quarter. And this isn't on a calendar year. It's on whenever you start. So if you start July of 2022, your fourth quarter will be the spring of 2023. So that's how that breaks down. So recommended year one, right? Your first, it's a full day workshop every quarter with the leadership team that you are providing. So we have the immersion session. We then have the second quarter would be the service vision session, then the relationship building, then the customer experience cycle, and the annual strategic planning session. Okay, so that's what a typical year would look like, and revenue opportunities. All right, this is where it gets exciting. Each coach can set their own daily rates. We help with that. We help with everything, but the coach decides what they want to charge for their daily rate. The process is 2 years with approximately 5 sessions per client. 10 sessions, days per client over the span of 2 years. One client at a rate of $3,500 a session will, be worth $17,500 to you. So let's look at that. All right. So you would do Q1, the immersion, you would charge them $3,500, and that's it. There's no work in between with that client, maybe a call here and there, but pretty much you're charging for your day and for each client. And so that's how you get to the $17,500 if you're charging $3,500. So session revenue opportunities. All right. Let's say you get 10 clients and you're charging $3,500 a day. Annual session days per client is 50 times 10 is 50 clients, session days a year, 10 clients, that your annual revenue, just in session revenue, your workshops is 175. You go up to 15 and you're charging $4,000 per day, you're making $300,000. And then finally, if you have 20 clients and you moved your rate up to 5,000, you could be making $500,000 per year. So it's all about quality of life. If you have 20 clients with 5 session days per year, you have 100 workshop days, giving you 200 free days. And then you figure at least another 65 days of prep, admin, filling the pipeline, doing the intro to customer experience coaching. All those would be built in there. All right. So the other resources I talked about that CX Coaching Global, aka the DiJulius Group, provides is a coaching online portal. Okay, this has all our videos of each of those 10 sessions. So you get to watch a video of one of us doing it. It also has all the slides and then that you'll use. So it's totally turnkey. It has the workbook for each of those session and the pre-work for each session that you send out, and post-work for that the client has to do, as well as the agenda for each session. So this is totally turnkey. You got to learn it. You got to be able to do it, but it's all there for you. You don't have to figure anything out. You just have to, immerse yourself into our content. CS Coaching Global Resources. So you start off with a 4-day CX Coach Camp. And our next one is November 1st to the 4th. So you do that once, and then you're good. You never have to come back to the CX Coach Camp again. And that doesn't teach you anything of our methodology. That really teaches you how to become a successful business owner, business operation, sourcing and closing leads, marketing and sales, and delivering a world-class client experience, and how to do dynamic presentation skills. That is what the CX Coach Camp, 4 days, you will learn the one time, and then you're licensed to use the methodology. Now, the other things that we provide is the CX coaching community. Passionate CX coaches Right now we have 17, and they have a call every month, and they come together quarterly in Cleveland for a one-day education event. We have our annual Customer Service Revolution Conference that's every year in Cleveland in October, and you get a ticket to that, and it's a great learning event. And then one of your quarterly education piggybacks that conference, so you don't have to come to Cleveland twice that quarter. We have weekly community training calls with multiple revenue streams and referrals from CX Coaching Global. So we try to market and drum up business. So in fact, later today, we have a webinar I'm doing for potential clients who want to hire a CX coach. So that's all the drum up business for you. You also have books, complimentary a box of books, The Customer Service Revolution, to secure your first clients. And you will find that that is one of your number one pipeline client leads, is giving them the Customer Service Revolution book and telling them that you can help them with this. So keys to success. Number one, your credibility, that you are an owner or senior leadership team, implemented customer experience programs successfully, experiencing coaching others or teams, ability to influence people. Your network, continually building relationships, looking for new leads, asking for referrals and opportunities. So it's really, your sphere of influence. Okay. And then your commitment, sticking with the proven methodology and the business model that we set up for you, and your passion, a true passion for teaching, coaching, and facilitating teams to be their best, continual personal training to always deliver your best. Another thing that's really important to us is the CX coaching core values. We have 7 of them. So the first one is world-class. The client experience we deliver is our best teaching by giving more than they expect and building relationships. We display a genuine servant's heart, anxious to serve others. Our second core value is integrity. We conduct our business with the highest ethical standards of professional behavior. We are transparent, genuine, honest, and ethical in all our interactions with employees, clients, vendors, and the CX coaching community. We keep our word. The third core value for CX coaching is expertise. We have to make sure we are constantly working, consuming to make sure we are the definitive expert at what we do, and we have nonstop obsession for learning. The fourth core value is evangelists. We are passionate advocates of CX coaching. We believe in the impact the customer service revolution has on people and business. We love what we do, who we do it with, and who we do it for. The fifth core value is entrepreneurial. We are a business-minded, creative, solution-driven, proactive, and accountable. Creating value for our clients and one another drives revenue and fuels our growth. Seeking to create value in every opportunity is how we create a secure future and expand our reach. The sixth core value is find a way to bring an abundance of positive energy. The sixth core value is energizing, which is to find a way to bring an abundance of positive energy and enthusiasm to everyone and everything you come in contact with. Be an energy giver. And then the final seventh core value is commitment. Dedicated to CX coaching brand, the purity of the CX coaching method, and our community, abundance and collaboration. If those resonate, all of them have to resonate with you, or it's not a right fit. Doesn't mean you're wrong, doesn't mean we're wrong, but we live by our core values and hold everyone and everything against those. So, setting you up for success. We have the customer CX Coach online portal, which we went over, the CX Coach, CX Coaching ongoing education. That's the monthly calls and the quarterly on-site education. We bring all our coaches together. The CX Coaching community, license to use the CX Coaching methodology, and constant access to the DiJulius Group. We are here for you to make you successful. So what does this look like? An investment A licensing fee, a one-time licensing fee is $15,000. And then going forward, you pay $750 a month for the CX Coaching online portal access. And it includes all the weekly and monthly phone calls with us, and as well as the quarterly education, 1 day quarterly coaching education on site, and a ticket to the customer service revolution. Boot camps limited to just 10 coaches. So how do you get started? You reserve your space now if you like what you've heard. You log into the CX Coaching online portal. You get going before the next coaches camp so you can start absorbing all that information. So the only thing keeping you from taking on clients is attending the CX Coach Camp. That is the last one of 2021. Okay. Then the next one's going to be in the first quarter of 2022. So if you like what you're hearing, contact Claudia at the DiJulius Group or schedule a call by going to the tdg.click/CXC. We can certainly answer as many questions. I believe Claudia is on as well to help answer any questions. So I'm going to throw it back to Lindsay. I went. Can't hear you, Lens.
Sorry, I was minimizing my chat and all those windows. So just to reiterate, I know at the end for the dates, I know that John, you wanted to reiterate the dates.
I said the dates wrong earlier in the presentation, November 1st to the 4th. It is not that. Those got moved to November 11th to the 14th. So that's about a month away, give or take. It is not the first week of November. It is the week of 11-15, Monday through Thursday in Cleveland.
Yeah, Monday the 15th through the 18th. Perfect. So one of the questions I wanted you to answer for us live is, do you see, is this restricted to people who you feel can only be successful if they are doing this full-time versus people who have a full-time job or own other businesses who also want to add this to their list of things?
So that's a great question. And it's probably even a better question for our existing coaches. So we have 17 or 18 right now. And obviously the most successful are the ones that this is all they're doing. And, they're really picking up momentum, building, a good list of clients. And then there's others that, can't afford yet to quit their day job, and they are doing this in conjunction. That's hard. It's hard, and I would certainly anybody that is interested in possibly doing it part-time at first, I'd let you talk to them. It's like anything, it's going to take you longer, but we're also not comfortable recommending to anyone to quit their day job. We know that's important, and so it all depends on the position you're in, but understand that whether you do it part-time or full-time, it's a lot of work. I mean, it is a lot of work. And the hardest part that we have found, going through this with our first 18 coaches is, building the pipeline, your center of influence, and, having people know what you're doing and having them make introductions for you. It all comes down to the biggest metric we measure on our coaches is how many intro. I talked about you give a complimentary 90-minute intro presentation to customer experience coaching to potential clients, their leadership team only. And it's really close to being 50%. We'll close and sign up from them and start working with you. So at the end of the day, we just look at our coaches and see how many intro presentations have you done and how many clients do you have. And sometimes it's 0 and 0. So we have one that's done 15 and has 7 or 8 clients. So it always hits around there. So that's a lot of hustling. And so that's the biggest thing we can recommend is if you're willing to do that, part-time is going to be obviously harder to get it going, but it's to each and everyone's situation.
The next one, I think you kind of already touched into, but it was talking about the success of the current coaches that are in the program. And then also if we see a tendency for like an average success or signing or things like that. So I think it's a little of what you already went into, or if there's anything else you wanted to add to that.
Yeah, I mean, we have some, all our coaches are great, and they're really creating momentum. It took, I think a little longer than they originally had hoped, or we had, and it's a learning curve. And I think now coming in as the third or fourth class, we've all learned how to, I think, hit the ground running quicker with the best practices. Each coach gets to determine their own rates, fees. There's no contracts, which is really appealing to clients. So if you're a coach and you go to a client and you say, listen, I charge, $4,000 a session once a quarter, but there's no contracts. And so clients like that, because there's no commitment, it's on the coach to return such incredible return on investment that they can't wait to do the next camp, or the next workshop, the next quarter. And we haven't seen any coaches lose any clients yet because they provide so much value. And so that keeps the pressure on us. So we help coaches if they want our guidance on where their fees should be. And I'm sorry, Lindsay, did I answer everything in that question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. So I think that is all I have for live answering, but I did want to mention that we know that John kind of threw a lot of information out to everybody today, and it might take a minute to kind of process and go through everything. So we're going to add an additional Q&A session with John this coming Monday. So that's October 25th. And it will be at 4 p.m. Eastern. And after probably tomorrow morning, I will be sending everyone who joined us today a recording of the session. So you'll have all of that. And then I will have the information for how to register and log into that additional Q&A session on Monday if you're interested and have more questions for John or want to go more in depth with anything with the CX coaching program.
And there's also one of the reasons for that is if you want to rewatch this, they'll get a link, correct, Linz?
Yep.
And we have 20 or 30 that registered for this that weren't able to watch it live. So that's why we're having another round of live Q&A with me, is people that have had an opportunity to watch it in its entirety, digest it, and have more questions. It's really important to explore everything here and make sure that this is right fit for you, and we have a successful partnership going forward. We're really excited about what's happening here, and and it's so needed. There's just so many businesses, as you experience personally, that need this help, but can't afford a DiJulius Group, and that's where the CX coaching model fits perfectly for the mid to smaller size businesses that this can help.
Yeah. Perfect. And I think that's it. So thank you everyone for joining us.
Thanks, everyone.
Tomorrow. Have a great day.